Good morning to all of you. Today we have an expert speaker who will be sharing with you the future of EU digital product passport. Raj, shall I start?
Yeah, sure.
I hope you can see my
So,
screen.
yes, I can see your screen. So, hello everyone. This is Muhammad Faraz. Welcome to our webinar on EU digital product passports. So, this meeting is being recorded and will be shared after the session. There will also be a survey at the end of this webinar for you to fill in order to receive a copy of this presentation. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to use the comments section at the end of the webinar. I will get to you if time permits, or else we'll follow up after the session. Yeah, so this is my email ID. Next slide, please. So this is the list of agendas for this webinar. So we'll be having an overview of eco-design for sustainable products regulation. There are a few slides on that. And after that, we'll see the EU digital product passports, introduction of it, and we'll see the objectives of a digital product passport, then understanding the digital passport requirements and regulations, implications for companies, and how to obtain the digital passports, and benefits for businesses and consumers. And at the end, there will be a conclusion and summary, and after that, we'll have the Q&A session. So we currently have a European Parliament's directive, which establishes the framework for setting of eco-design requirements for energy-related products. So this is the current directive we have on this. So so for setting of eco-design requirements for energy-related products, that means any product that has an impact on energy consumption during its use. And the main objective of this framework is to enhance the energy efficiency during use and the environmental performance of energy-related products. So this particular framework or directive has been was introduced in 2009, and since 2009, 30 energy-related product groups are regulated. So in May of 2022, the European Commission published a roadmap on the eco-design and energy labeling working plan of 2022 to 24 year plan, which covers some new products that the Commission wants to address, such as consumer electronics, tablets, solar panels, etc. So these policies regulate the environmental performance of energy-related products, such as the energy and water consumption, emission levels, and overall material efficiency of an end product. This initial roadmap came into play after the EC entered into the European Green Deal. So it is an effort to transform the EU into a modern, resource-efficient, competitive economy that will reach the climate neutrality by 2050. So now we'll look at the proposal of ESPR. So it is basically based on the Sustainable Products Initiative, and it aims to make sustainable products a norm in the EU and boost Europe's resource independence. It aims to revise the eco-design directive, which we saw, by converting into a wide scope ESPR. So in 2022 March, the EC proposed an overall and expansion of its existing ecosystem directive to establish a new framework for product design, reporting, and labeling requirements in order to ensure all products that to market are environmentally sustainable. So this is an effort to meet their goals to ensure a market of products that are known to be durable, energy, and efficient, repairable, and recyclable in order to meet their target of being climate neutral in 2050. So the main objective of this framework is to improve the environmental sustainability of products and the transparency of related information, setting eco-design requirements that products shall.
Faraz, you're there? Like we lost you. Looks like.
Yes. You hear me? Can you hear me? Hello. Ranjani, can you hear me?
Hello, Faraz.
Yes, Ranjani, can you hear me?
Faraz, we cannot hear you.
I can hear you. I don't know what is the problem. Hello. Ranjani, I can hear you. Hello. Ranjani, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello.
No, we are not able to hear you. Neither is the audience. So can you please be more louder?
Yes, I am louder. I'm close to my mic. Am I audible now? Hello.
No, you're not audible properly.
Can I rejoin? Tell me how to rejoin.
Yeah, the volume is
Hello.
up already actually.
No, I'm very close to my mic. I don't know what is. I can hear you clearly, Ranjani. Let me rejoin. Let me rejoin. Hello. Can you hear me
You're
now,
audible.
Ranjani?
Yes, yes, we can hear you well. Please continue.
Shall we continue? Yeah. Yeah. So I was talking about the proposal of the ESPR. And yeah, this is an effort to meet their goals to ensure a market of products that are known to be durable, energy and resource efficient, repairable, and recyclable in order to meet their target of being climate neutral in 2050. The main objective of this framework is to improve the environmental sustainability of products and transparency of the related information by setting eco-design requirements that products shall fulfill to be placed on the market or put into service. So it will be a framework regulation, which means the delegated acts by the EU Commission will be required for specific product groups. The directive is product specific, and it's for the whole life cycle approach, that is from raw materials extracted all the way to production of chemicals, articles, products, and until the wastage. I was in the sixth slide. So next slide, please. So why is ESPR needed? So this slide I've borrowed from the European Commission's presentation. So here are some of the reasons have been mentioned, and they are inefficient use of resources, planetary boundaries exceeded, and new business opportunities. So we'll look into this in detail. Please. What is the product scope? So it almost covers all the products. So it covers any physical good that is placed on the EU market or put in service, which includes the components and the intermediate products. It also covers substances, mixtures, articles, including the assemblies in terms of EU reach. Applies to all the products in EU or imported. It doesn't matter the origin of the product. And some of the limited exclusions are that is food, feed, medicinal products have been excluded, and there is no exclusion for means of transport for persons and goods. So eco-design requirements, there are two types of eco-design requirements. One is the performance requirement, so which will be used for removal of worst performing products from market, and the other one is the information requirements. So this information requirements is divided into two. That is, one is requirements related to digital product passport. We will be seeing this in detail in the next few slides. And the other one is the requirements related to substance of concern. So this substance of concern, there are actually three subgroups of substance of concern. One is the candidate list. The other one, which you might be aware of, is the SVHC list, substance of very high concern. The other one is the substance with the harmonized classification in CLP, that is like PBTs and VPVBs. And the third one is substances that negatively affect the reuse and recycling of materials in product in which it is present. So the minimum information, the requirement of eco-design is to provide minimum information of these substances. Like the substance names has to be there. It is a substance name present in the product, location within the product, concentration of the substance, relevant safe use instructions, and information relevant for disassembly of the product. So these product aspects are actually altogether basically describes the criteria what constitutes a sustainable product. So this is also have been mentioned in the directive, ESPR directive. So some of them are like durability, reliability, reusability, energy use or energy efficiency, resource use or resource efficiency, recycled content, etc. Yeah. So now we'll move to the digital product passports. So digital product passport is one of a number of initiatives taken by the European Commission towards sustainable Europe. In March 2022, the European Commission presented a number of proposals aimed at improving product sustainability. That is the one which we just looked, ESPR proposal. And one of the main initiatives is introducing a circular economy business model in EU to reduce the adverse environmental side effects resulting from extraction, use, and disposal of natural resources. Under the Green Deal, the plan is to, by 2030, reduce carbon dioxide emissions by 55% compared to 1990 levels, and by 2050, make Europe the first climate neutral continent. Hence, the European Commission has proposed initiatives along the entire life cycle of a product. So to obtain, utilize, keep, and access all the information required, digital product passports was introduced. So the definition of digital product passport, it is a structured collection of product related data with a predefined scope, which are to be defined in the delegated act, with agreed data ownership and access rights for selected stakeholders through a data carrier and a unique identifier. So the digital product passports will be a decentralized system. There will be a registry with the commission, which will include the key identifiers for the product, but the full data will only be available with the economic operators. And the scope is the digital product passport concept will evolve over time in terms of utility, but in its current form, they're largely being scoped and utilized within sustainability, recyclability, and environmental initiatives. So these all fall under the circular economy umbrella. Yeah, next slide, please. So this is an example of how the information is enabled through a data carrier. For example, you can scan the QR code and there will be a corresponding unique identifier, and all info related to the product passport will be stored locally with the economic operators, and only a limited data will be stored at the registry of EU Commission. So these are some of the possible contents of the digital product passports. They are not fixed yet, so some of the contents will relate to identification of the product and the operator, and there are also other contents related to the sustainability, which are to be defined in the delegated act. So yeah, you can see unique product identifier, global trade identification number, relevant commodity codes such as the tariff code, compliance documentation, user manuals, instructions, warning or safety information, information related to manufacturer, information related to the person or company placing product on the EU single market, and information related to importer, etc. So why is the EU introducing a digital product passport? So again, digital product passport is to implement circular economy instead of the linear economy. As in a linear economy, most of the information is lost before it reaches the consumer or recycler, as you can see here. So before it reaches the customer, due to the non-standardized information flow, most of the information is lost, and when it reaches the recycler, almost nothing is, no information is available. So the objective of the digital product passport is to gather sustainability related information about the product and its supply chain. This information will then be accessible so that all parties, customers, consumers, other economic operators and other authorities may understand the product they use and their environmental impact. Thus, by increasing the traceability and availability of data, the intention is to make the move to circular economy easier. So any business selling their product on the EU market will have to provide product passport for both the finished product and also for individual parts. So in this way, even if the law is particular to the EU, the decision will have an impact globally. So one point I want to add there was uh, is that the information in the digital product passport will be specific to product model, batch or item number as specified in the delegated act. So moving to the next one, here these are some of the areas that the product passports are meant to improve. So the first one is sustainable product production. It is by enhancing the use of materials and energy, extending life of products and maximizing product performance. The second is businesses to create value through circular business models by making it possible for businesses to use service and repair based business models. And the next one is the consumers to make more informed purchasing decisions once they are provided with the information on the total impact of their buying behaviors. They can make more eco-friendly decisions and track their effects. And the last one is verifying the compliance with legal obligations. So data collection and sharing. So when taking a more holistic view of digital passports in terms of their current and potential utility, there are multiple different data categories that can be collected and shared across entire ecosystems and value chains. So here the ownership, this includes details related to past and current owners of a particular product, including detailed breakdowns of ownership duration and specific event audit trail. As an example here would be a clothing or a luxury good resale, whereby ownership could also be transferred through the digital passport application. Next one is source, so referring to the origin of raw materials and components utilized within the manufacturing and development of product. Also details regarding the sustainability of the manufacturing process and whether ethical practices were followed could also be recorded and accessed. An example here would be a consumer being to validate whether the green claims of a company they are purchasing from are legitimate. So repair, so details related to repairability attributes of a product and actual repair events that have occurred throughout the product's life. So again, an example here would be a luxury watch owner who initiates a repair to their item after accidental repair with all details recorded on the associated digital passport. The next one is the warranties, digital versions of warranty, service, insurance, and guarantee documentations. And the next one is the footprint, includes data that consumers can access to ascertain the carbon footprint used either through the manufacturing process or through this can reinterpret the data held within categories above, such as providing details on the energy utilized in manufacturing process or what raw materials or components of the products are made from recyclable materials. And the last one is the identity. This refers to the general product information and data that is used to identify the product, including the batch numbers, reference numbers, and the manufacturing dates. So this is a digital product passports business case. You can see this is also a slide taken from the European Commission's presentation. So tracking of raw material extraction and production, then track the life story of the product, enabling new business models related to its remanufacturing, repairability, and reuse, support market surveillance and customer authorities, enable manufacturers to create digital twins. Product digital twins is creating a digital twin of physical product and recording all the sustainability based data from across the product's life cycle. So this digital twin can also be associated to the product via a QR code, barcode, or other technology which it being accessible via a smart device application or something similar. Yeah, and provide public authorities and policymakers with reliable information and allow citizens to have access to relevant and verified information on the products they own. So, yeah. So products to be regulated. Currently, the European Union is considering the below three industries for product passport implementation, with the rest to follow. Those three are the electric vehicles and industrial batteries, textiles, and construction materials. So other industries will likely see a digital product passport regulation emerging maybe this year, and even pressures and initiatives to adopt more sustainable business practices are being felt across a lot of industries, including textiles, electronic devices, plastics, automobile industry, and chemical industry. So who will need to implement the digital product passport? So the answer would be all the industries that I've mentioned in the previous slide, and more. So battery passports have already established a precedent for digital product passports, but with the other related regulations coming into effect, like ESPR, more demands will be placed on product passports. So as part of a growing push for digitization, network data sets, and evaluation of environmental effects across product life cycles, legislation is set to connect these many product categories. So like I mentioned in the last slide, these textile, construction industries, electronic waste, plastic, and chemicals, and automobile sectors all are seeing pressures and initiatives to move to more sustainable business practices. And digital product passports are not a standalone concept. A number of other legislation also include traceability, chain of custody, and data sharing requirements. So these are some of the relevant regulations. Like I told you, EU battery regulation. This will be implemented in this is implemented in 2026. So this is a proposed regulation which establishes a framework for repurposing of electric car batteries so that they can have a second life as stationary energy storage systems, or integrate into electricity grids as energy resources. And the other ones are EU proposed ESPR. So this aims to make consumer products more durable, reusable, repairable, recyclable, and energy efficient as part of the CEAP. It is the Circular Economy Action Plan. And EU strategy for sustainable and circular textiles, which is implemented in March 2022, and also the construction products regulation proposed in March 2022. So this is a slide information on the battery passport criteria. So from like I told you, from 2026, every industrial and electric vehicle battery must come with a digital product passport. So the required information links to safety requirements and the targets for recycled content in batteries. So more specifically, data must be provided for material sourcing, carbon footprint, percentages of recycled materials used, battery durability, and repurposing and recycling guidelines. These are the data that must be provided. So yeah, so while implementing digital product passports is not mandatory for EV industrial battery producers until 2026, but some are already opting for this traceability options similar to digital product passports. One example here is Varta. So this is a battery manufacturing company who use unique QR codes on their who are using these unique QR codes on their automotive batteries to improve product traceability and create a direct engagement channel with the end users of automotive batteries. So we'll see what are the implications for companies. So first of all, this is a very ambitious proposal to make sure the products are environmentally sustainable. I think I was in slide. Yeah, so like I told you, this is a very ambitious proposal to make sure products are environmentally sustainable. Also, currently there is a lot of uncertainty regarding the products to be addressed. The timeline of when delegated acts will be introduced and what will be the applicable requirements. So industry impact will mainly depend on final version of ESPR. So here I have listed few things for the impacts, like we have to see how the products are going to be defined and how the grouping to be done for products which are then subject to same requirements. Another important aspect is to what extent the performance requirements will be defined. Also, if substance restrictions are imposed in the future under this regulation, ESPR regulation, that could be a possible there could be a possible of obsolescence. And regarding the information requirements and digital product passports, it will be an additional challenge on top of what we already have, like regulations like reach and skip. So how to obtain digital product passports? At the moment, the establishment of the data requirements of digital product passports for every specific product category will depend on a process of industry-wide stakeholder consultation. The entire supply chain has to work together to specify the vital information that would stop a product from going to waste. So some of the data specifications have already been established. So hence there are some initial steps that the companies can take to advance the process. Like there are some points which I have added here, and yeah, some of them are like, if you can see, GS1 digital link shall be used to plan for user and consumer product interaction, and the same GS1 digital links shall be added to products themselves rather than just the hang tags or the outer packaging. So there's a list of these are there also in the next slide. Yeah, so here if you can see, yeah, implement traceability systems that enable tracking of all events that occur between raw materials and finished products, and implement centralized and interoperable systems that can collect and combine data from diverse sources in order to get ready for reporting requirements for a product passport. So these are some of the things which the companies, businesses can look at, and maybe can take advanced steps before the regulation is implemented. So what are the benefits of digital product passports? So these are some of the points. Detailed information has been given in the previous slides. The product passport, yeah, the EU wants to set the global standard for the development of circular economy by lowering its carbon footprint and promoting sustainable manufacture and consumption of products and their parts. We saw in the previous slides. And also the product passport will, among other things, offer relevant product details enhanced product traceability, improved supply chain visibility, better compliance insight, and full life cycle monitoring of compounds of concern within the specific product. So what are the benefits of businesses? So new business models. So digital passports can also be seen as an additional channel that the marketing, sales, and business operations can tap to provide new services. The push toward this that is the this business models uh, this push towards circular economy with more focus on product longevity and increase consumer trust. So by recording events across the full life cycle of products from manufacturing all the way to recyclability or disposal, businesses can offer consumers a fully transparent view into the authenticity and state of product they are purchasing. So this is actually backed by the finding that 46% of consumers want clarity on product sourcing. Also validate green claims and also ensure compliance. So supply chains can become incredibly complex and difficult to track, meaning you know the organizations may legitimately lack the required data to monitor their compliance. So through digital passports as a single and shared source of, so this data can more easily tracked and accessed, leading to businesses being able to track their compliance with the initiatives in real time. What are the benefits for consumers? Buyers' confidence. That is, it enables consumers to make more informed purchase choices related to the sustainability performance of the brands they buy from. Maximized product value, that is also similar to the above, and identify greenwashing and recognize carbon footprint. So many consumers who are seeking more sustainable responsibility from their chosen brands are also looking to improve their own performance and reduce their carbon footprint. So depending on the type of the product, data on energy consumption and environmental impact can be gathered from digital passport. So this is a timeline to adoption and implementation. So we are now in the proposal stage, and we can expect the adoption and entry into force in 2024. So after the adoption, the commission will draw up the implementation strategy. So meanwhile, we have to also be aware that the existing eco-design directive for energy-related products continues. That is eco-design and energy labeling working plan 2022 to 2024. And the EC has also said that there will be an implementation of 30 delegated acts by 2030. So this is the summary of the presentation. It is on the digital product passport. So it is a data set that summarizes the components, materials, and chemical substances or information on repairability, spare parts, or proper disposal for a product. The data comes from all phases of the product life cycle, and standardized comparable format for environmental data enables all actors in the value and supply chain to work together towards a circular economy. And it is also an important basis for reliable consumer information and sustainable consumer decisions in stationery and online retail. This is also suitable for all products and services as well as food, whereby the focus should initially be on particularly resource and energy intensive goods. That would be information and communication technology with high energy and material consumption. So the digital product passport will be more important for products with a complex composition than for products with a few components. And the last but not the least, this is also important to prevent negative environmental impacts and to optimize recycling. Yeah, so that's the end of the webinar. I think we have a few minutes, I guess 3 to 4 minutes. We can have a Q&A session. If anybody has any questions, they can put it in the chat. So I guess no questions. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can also send an email to me. My email ID is, can you change the slide? Can you move to the next slide, Ranjani? I have my email ID there. I think it's in the last slide, yeah. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can email me at this address. Yeah, so thank you for joining this webinar. And yeah, take care.